Hey everyone, it's Keith here with 901 FPV, and I want to introduce today 901 FS League and what that means for the pilots, both open class and the ones that want to race within this spec. We've always joked about having a 901 spec, something that we come up with that we all race locally, but this is going to kind of go ahead and move that needle. So 901 FS is in the spirit of the original Freedom Spec combined with the new Freedom Spec, or the last time people ran Freedom Spec, but it's 901 Freedom Spec. So this is just our local spec. So if you're watching this and you're not part of 901, you're more than welcome to copy it and run it within your league. And the idea here is to make racing, specifically 5-inch racing, a little more accessible to newer pilots and give those of us who've been around for a while something really fun to fly that is a lot less demanding on our equipment so that we can just keep coming back for more every race weekend. So what is 901 FS League? Let's start off with the spec. There is a spec here. It's very simple. And listen, for those of you that want to overcomplicate it, please don't, because you're having to remember we're doing this for the newer folks and the less experienced so that they have a good time and they keep wanting to come back and race with us and their friends and have a wonderful experience. So first and foremost, 5-inch racing quad. Frame, don't care. Look, if you want to run a 5-inch race frame, that's what I'll be running, specifically this one. This is my race quad. Now, if you want to come out here with a freestyle frame, you know what? Bring it on. The more the merrier. Needs to be analog or HD0. Sorry, Walksnail and DJI, we just don't have the capabilities to support that at the race scene at the 901 field. As far as props go, making this super simple, it's the Gemfan Fury 5128. First off, Gemfan is a sponsor of the club. They provide a lot of support. I'm not making any promises as far as like, will they provide props for here? I don't think we've even asked them. But the Fury 5128 is a really good, durable prop, and they're very inexpensive at $2.99 a pack. And you can get them a variety of colors. So if you don't like blue and you don't like black, you can get purple and you can get green. So I've got purple on mine here. You can see that there. It's very pretty. It's a very pretty purple that goes fast. So that's the prop. What about the firmware? So you need to have the 4.5 CAC firmware with Freedom Spec enabled. So it's Freedom 18K. You see this on screen, what it's going to look like when you got the OSD. If you're not certain about which firmware or how to do that, make sure in the 901 FPV Discord, and we'll be more than happy to kind of point you in that direction. But you will have to have FS on the screen to qualify for this 901 FS League. As far as what battery you use, well, if you want to use 6S, that's cool. If you want to use 5S, that's cool. If you want to use 4S, that's cool. And if you want to use the OG 3S Freedom Spec style 2200 milliamp battery, you know what? Go for it. The RPM limit's going to control most all of that. And that's where the weight comes in. We do have a weight. I do intend to see you hit 480 grams. And if you've been around for a while, you'll remember that's an old number for Freedom Spec to hit. Now, if you're on a 5-inch like this, I was well over 500 grams with a 6S pack. I put a 5S on it and it dropped to just under 480, so I'd have to add a little bit of weight to it, maybe something like a stack saver to keep it dry, who knows, but that option is there. Motors, you can't use any motors that have your own personal engraving on it because I'm just kidding. That's I couldn't resist. Okay, so that's it. Let's make a quick run through of that. 5-inch quad, racing quad, freestyle quad, don't care as long as you're running HD0 or analog. Gemfan Fury 5128 prop, that's the one that's allowed. Only prop we're going to allow in this league if you're going to run this. 4.5 CAC Freedom 18K selected. I need to see the FS on the logo or else you will be disqualified from the standings. Don't care about your battery. As long as you're overweight, we'll have a scale out there. Just set it on. We're going to let you go. Like, again, the idea here is to have fun, have a great time. Because the way we're going to run these races is we're not going to have a separate 901 FS League race. These will take place concurrent with all of our 5-inch racing. So at the beginning of the day, you'll have to make the decision, am I participating in the 901 FS League or am I running open class? It's up to you. There's no pressure in either direction. If you want to come out there and run full open class because you want to go fast, that's cool. You're welcome to do it. We highly encourage it because there's a lot of pilots on the team that love to go fast, and there's a lot of newer pilots who are just going to try to go out there and have a good time and learn how to fly. And they kind of get, I don't want to say left behind, but there is that gap that happens in there. And that's where the standings at the end of the day are going to be really fun. If you are participating in the 901 FS League, you will have a separate standings at the end of the day. So, for example, if there are 10 pilots racing and let's say 4 of them are at 901 FS League, they're all running the spec to be in spec, and the fastest of them manages to get 4th place, let's just say overall 4th place. So you got your open class, first set P1, P2, P3, and then they end up in 4th place. Okay, cool, you got 4th place, but in the same race as the 901 FS, you got 1st place. But the person who got 2nd in the standings with 901 FS will have gotten 2nd and 3rd. So that's going to allow us to have 2 sets of podiums at the end of every 5-inch race. But you're going to have to make the decision before the race what you're going to do, and you're going to have to commit to it throughout the race. As far as like what we do for the whole season, not really sure yet. We're just trying to make sure that there's a fun way to have multiple podiums for people who want to race this spec, and then also people that want to race open spec. Just need you to make that decision before the race starts. If you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment down below or hit us up over on the 901 FPV Discord. Look forward to seeing you there and on the racetrack.